We have another lock here from Georgia Jim. This is the Ingersoll CS. It's a very chunky padlock here. It's a bit like the MIUI U9 in that it has these wafers that they're levers that interact with a sidebar, but instead of the sidebar dropping down, it's like one that levers in. I only know from watching a video on it. I haven't gutted it, but it looks like Jim already popped out this little pin here, which means that the shackle can be removed and we should be able to partially gut the lock. Brought some tools down. I'm not exactly sure what I need, but it's got this this key, double-sided. It's got 5 levers on the top, 5 on the bottom. Drops the whole shackle out. Normally the shackle's retained by this pin up here. Actually, I guess the shackle should be this way around to be retained by that pin up there. And when you remove that, that allows you to remove the shackle and get at those screws down there. So that said, the padlock gives me a little bit of trouble working it. Like a lot of times I'll stick the key in, it'll go like that far, and I'll try to open it, and you see it'll turn a little, but it won't open because the key's not all the way in. So you push the key in a little further, it still doesn't open. Well, because the key's not all the way in. It's really hard to get that key all the way in. Like if you turn it all the way to left, the key doesn't clear this piece of shielding here on the left. It doesn't clear this little piece of shielding. So, you know, if you have it turned all the way to left, you can't get the key all the way down. You got to turn a little right, and it keeps on popping it out and pop it out, and then you can get all the way down, and then finally you can open it. So, key operation not the best. It has, I think, some sort of O-ring in there, which makes it so the key takes quite a bit of pressure to turn, which is a pain and a blessing when picking. One, it's a pain that it robs you a lot of your tension feedback, but it's also a blessing then that I've had the tensioner fall out and I don't lose my progress because the thing doesn't go back. And also, if I've overset, I need to manually counter rotate it back a little. So, both a blessing and a curse. Let's get a little bit of focus going on here. Zoom in a bit and see if we can pick it. So I just have a Sparrow's heavy flat bar. I'll put that up top. This time I'm going to use the longer side. Usually I use the shorter side, but it's got a lot of layers in front of the face of the lock, so I need that extra depth. It does make me pop the tensioner out a lot more often because that extra length makes it so it pops out. And then I got this Peterson hook 5 that I'm going to pick it with. It already has rotated quite a bit before anything starts to bind. So let's go ahead and feel. There is, oh, this is a weird angle for me. I'm going to turn it a little bit more. The first one, and these things are heavy springs. So that first one is definitely springy. Second one's definitely springy. Third one is also springy. Fourth one, and it gets a bit harder to feel it towards the back here. But this fourth one here, I think it's binding. So we'll see if I can push that down. There we go. It goes down a little. Can't quite tell. Let's go to the fifth one and come back to the fourth one. Fifth one is springy. Come back to that fourth one and see if I can find it again. So the fourth one, either it's a max lift or it's overset. So I'm going to actually counter rotate a bit because it feels like it's flush with the bottom of the lock. And just see where it's located, just to, right there I feel it. Go back to that fifth one again. Push that down a little. Still springy. Fourth one, I'm not going to push it further because it feels like it's all the way at the bottom. And I'm going to work some of the other levers first to see if any are binding. And then I'll come back to that fourth one. Just worried about being overset or not. Top up here. So I'm thinking it's going to bind from back to front. Where is that? Oh, there's the second pin. Second pin is already really high up for whatever reason. Or I'm calling them pins, but they're, just keep in mind they're levers. Just used to saying pins. All right, so the fifth one I think here is binding. So I'll let off tension some, push that fifth one up, and that fifth one also flew up on me. So that one might be a bit like overset because it just really flew up. I let off tension a little. It came down. See if it's okay. So it feels a little jiggly. We'll go to 4, which is springy. 3, springy. I won't mess with the front yet. We'll go to the back on the bottom. Number 5. Number 5 is springy. Number 4 is super low. It's almost like it went down more on its own. I don't know, whatever. 3 springy, 2 springy, and 1 is springy. Or 1 looks like it. Yeah. Top. Guessing all this front stuff's going to be springy. 1 springy. 2's kind of disappeared on. Oh, I felt a little springiness there. 3 springy. Okay, 4 is now down and springy. And number 5 is binding way up there. I think that's overset, number 5. Yeah, I just pushed up further and it's still stuck. So let's go ahead and completely reset because I think I've got off on the wrong foot. All right, start on the back bottom again. So go over 1, 2, 3, and I think around 4 or 5 it started binding. So here's number 4. I have a feeling I pushed up on the top when I was trying to push the bottoms. So number 4, and I don't want it to go. There we go. I didn't want it to go too far. It's feeling nice and springy there. And 5. See, that went really fast, and I have a feeling that there was an overset. But I got a nice little springy feeling out of 5, out of 4, and I'll check the top. See if I overset anything with the back of my pick up top here. I don't think so. Not 1, 2, or 3. All right, so 4 on top. No, springy, and 5. It's so hard to push these things, even without using too much tension on top. All right, 5 just went up a little, and it's a little springy there. 4 up top is fully springy. 3 up top, springy. 2's up high again, but it's springy at least. There's some piece of debris caught right here. What is this? Something stuck in grease. All right, go back to the bottom. 1 feels like it. No, it's springy. It's just very stiff spring. This thing makes your hand tired. 3, 4 on the bottom. I think 4 on the bottom might be binding. Mm, 5 on the bottom. 5 on the bottom, springy. Oh, come on. Having such a hard time staying on the levers of this. 4 on the bottom, little bit of a movement there, and now it's springy. Go back to 5 again. Springy. Oh, my hand is already cramping up. So 1 is springy. Very stiff spring on 1. 3, 4. And it's just a matter of just keep checking it. And 5. Just keep checking each lever to see if they're jiggling or springy, and find your binder. The binder can be a little bit tricky to find. 3. All right, 4 is binding up top. Let's see if I can push that up. There we go. 4 went up, is now jiggling. 5 up top, jiggling. 4 jiggling. 3, 2, and 1 is springy. Ooh. Rest that hand a little. Bottom. 1 is springy. I keep thinking it's binding, but it's just a super stiff spring. 2 is springy. 3 on the bottom. I think that's our binder. Let's go ahead and push that. Oh yeah. Okay, now he's a little springy. And check my guys that are probably set towards the back, 4 and 5. Let's see if pushing 3 down did anything to 1 or 2. Oh, it might have been a little bit 2. I'm not sure. 3 is springy now, or jiggly. 1 on top. 1 on top. Okay, it's nothing. 2 on top. That's super high. I have a feeling 2 is going to be easily overset or something on top. I might have to counter and drop that back down, but let's check the others for now. Now I can let go of the tension, and that O-ring for the most part holds everything in place. Make sure my tensioner's in there nice. 1, 2. This lock takes way longer than it probably should because of that O-ring, I think, and the fact that it has these majorly powerful springs on each of these levers that just are so hard to push and stay on. 3, 4, 5. All right, it's got to be something up top if something's not overset on top. The bottom doesn't feel overset at all. All right, 1. Something from 1. Maybe acting a bit like a taper. I think it's free now. It's freed up now. 2 is not moving, but it's so high, I'm afraid to push it anymore yet. That's fine. All right, 3. 3 might have been binding. Yeah, 3 was binding. There we go. 4. And 5. Okay. Let's check for some of these front ones again. 1. 2's got me nervous. 3 feels like still binding. Okay, gave a little bit, and now springy. 4 springy. And 5 still springy. Okay, go back to the bottom. 1 is either binding or it's that ridiculously tough spring. This is the tough spring. 2 on the bottom. Seems to be jiggling. 3 on the bottom. Seems to be jiggling. 4 is jiggling. And 5 on the bottom. Seems to be jiggling. So it's got to be something with number 2 on the top. I'm going to push that up a little. I have a big feeling that number 2 on the top is overset. It was a very light spring on the top, and I think just kind of, when I was testing it, it probably overset it. So what I'm going to do is keep my pick under that second lever. I'm going to manually counter rotate a little and listen for levers falling. I'm just kind of rubbing that second one, encouraging it to drop. I'm going to manually slowly counter rotate until I feel it fall down. All right, so there's 1 fell. Another 1 fell. And I feel 2 starting to slowly poke out like a turtle head poking out. And when it comes down a decent amount, there we go. I'll go ahead and put my tension back on. So I'm pretty sure that was my overset. It just, when I pushed up on it, it just kept going all the way to the top, and it never changed the feel. It just felt binding all the way up. So that was probably my overset. Check these bottom ones out. 1 is loose. Number 2 on the bottom. Oh my gosh, it's so hard to get on these. The pick is really tall. All right, push 2 a little bit, and now it's jiggling. 3 on the bottom. Seems to be binding. Pushed it a little bit. Seems to be loose. 4, jiggle. 5, jiggle. Go back to 1. 1 is okay. 2. 2 seems to be binding again. Push down on 2 a little. No. 2 is okay. 1 again is okay. 1 is loose. All right, up top. Number 1 seems to be binding now. Okay, like a kind of like a taper style. It gave away a little bit and now it's loose. 2, pretty high up. I'm going to leave that guy alone. 3 fell down. 3 fell down, but it won't move. Oh, there we go. 3's up. 4 is good. And 5 is good. All right, check out number 1 again. 1 is loose. 2, I'm going to leave her alone right now. Seems like my overset friend. 1 on the bottom. Feels like it's actually binding now, or is it just the stupid heavy spring? No, I think it's binding now. And we're open. Oh my gosh, my hand is really sore from that. But we'll go ahead and turn on this autofocus. And what we'll do is we'll keep turning this till the shackle comes out. There we go. Take that shackle out. We will lock it back up. Sure. Lock that back up. And you can see this thing turns quite far without a key. And we'll hopefully be able to take a look inside and see why that is. But there you go. Key still works. Let's get a screwdriver in here. Hopefully Jim's opened this before. I'm sure, because that pin's missing. Okay, good. So there's no Loctite holding me up. Nope. Oh, okay. The screws are loose, but they are blocked by the bearings, the ball bearings for the shackle. So let's go ahead. And this key is not reversible. So you gotta stick it in the right way around. Let's go ahead and open, get those ball bearings out the way so that these screws come out. There's one of them. There's the other one. All right. So now with those out, I'm guessing this bottom cover comes off. Oh, I think this bottom cover will come off at this point. Let me push a little. I would think that the bottom cover would just drop off at this point. But, and I don't have a hammer or anything down here with me. I don't want to mess anything up. Yeah, I don't want to keep poking with it, because those are actually threaded parts for these screws to go in, right? But it's strange that this bottom doesn't come off. I might not be able to gut this. You might have to. I might just have to point you guys to another video where they got it. But oh, there we go. Okay. Whew, that was a little scary. I just pulled on it. It came off. And so there's our core. Now will that come out? Come on. You know what? Let's be a bit more intelligent. Grab it with the key and pull it out. There we go. Had to rotate a little. Okay, I'm pretty sure nothing can fall off of this except for ball bearings. So the ball bearings that hold the shackle in should be coming. You know what? Let's not get the table all dirty. Get us a little digs tray here. And ball bearing. There's one of them. There's the other. So those are the ball bearings that keep the shackle locked. Now, the fun stuff. The key here. Yeah, it should just come out. Okay, so what do we got going on here? We've got a bunch of these little levers. You can see there's 5 on this side and 5 on that side, right? They all lever around this spot, and there's like leaf springs here. There's like a leaf spring here, and it's pushing on this lever here. Zoom in a bit. And what happens, this O-ring is robbing you of a lot of your feedback, but it also holds things in place. And when you put this in, kind of like on the U9, you can see the levers move around. See that? Those levers are moving as I put it in. And when I get it in, you can see there's a channel formed across all of them. None of these have false gates, just that true gate. Once you get all the true gates lined up, this sidebar piece here can drop into that. See that? Without them lined up, it can only go that far. And that's going to block. You see how it sticks up above the plug? Put the key all the way in. It drops below the line of the plug. And that's going to allow you to open the lock. You can see that it's got that groove on the bottom that this thing sits in, which will stop it from opening unless you put the right key in. So what's happening is when we turn the plug, it's pushing a lot of pressure down on this sidebar like that, and that's going to hold whatever binding lever in place until we lift it up with the pick, right? And that's how that lock works. That is the Ingersoll CS. Thanks, Georgia Jim. This is a really awesome lock, but it is really tiring to pick. Thanks, everyone. Take care. Bye.